Well, my general motivation, or where I come from in terms of my artistic form of expression, is as a child I was a very, how you say, I was a very quiet person. So I read a lot. I was a lot in, like, what you would say, more like in the more cerebral world. So like I was very afraid of some more like physical things. I was quite afraid, for example, to go out. I was not a kid that would like to go into the forest or something, for example, because there's like spiders and crawly things and whatever. So I was very much into going into fictional worlds, like becoming, like putting on a mask of someone else who would then sort of erleben, would sort of go through adventures that I myself didn't really care to actually go through. So like a sort of surrogate persona for myself to sort of discover the world or see things. And I started very early on drawing, to draw. So that was actually my first sort of mode of expression. And I started to draw comics basically in my teens. Not like professionally, nothing was published or anything, but that was something I really got into, like creating a sequence of images that would somehow get across a certain story movement into some sort of world, other world or whatever. Otherworldliness is also a good sort of word maybe for what I was looking in that particular world, always trying to find a way into a world that is not necessarily our everyday world. And then when I was 15, I started making films with friends, which was like a kind of natural progression, I think. We went to a sort of media workshop. It was a public thing where kids could go to just don't hang around on the streets, basically. And then we started just taking that principle of shooting images and putting them into a sequence and seeing where that gets us to the next level. And we made a sort of big animated film, clay animated film. So we weren't really into working with actors at that point, I think, but it was more about creating that sequence of images. And I think this is still my approach today, even though I, of course, have worked with actors now in all my live action films, and I also like working with them. But I think I would never consider myself being an actor's director or something, because that's what some people are really good at. I think I'm more of a filmmaker in the sense that I would like to create that whole thing that gives you this sequence of images that will get you to a place where you haven't been before, or where you wouldn't actually, maybe at the beginning of the film entering this world, wouldn't have expected to end up in. And this maybe relates back to my own sort of being quite timid and shy about exploring, and sort of giving myself and also the audience a sort of safe space, a safe environment to explore all these things. And I think things within my work got a lot more like sexual or dark or whatever. So I think it's more and more about exploring things that you would maybe be too shy to sort of explore in real life, or at least for someone who is a bit inhibited like me. But also it sort of helps me. Making these films makes me less inhibited as well. So it's a kind of very natural mode of expression, and also of growing out of my straitjacket, so to speak. And yeah, I mean, obviously, hopefully this also translates to people watching those films, because this is all about me and what it does to me. But I think because there is always this pull towards something, toward a sort of mysterious place or something, and I think that sort of relates very well to audiences as well. So I find that oftentimes audiences are very willing to go with that and to figure out with me, the filmmaker, where the travel might lead.